Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Coding with Ado. Today we're gonna connect with Toggl. So Toggl is a really powerful platform that you can use to track your time, track your expenses of the teams. So basically you can add a specific value of the time for each team member and track the progress and the budget of specific projects. And today I'm gonna be really good with you guys, and we're gonna do a full integration so you can actually use this for later on connect to your Asana, Trello, Jira, all the different project management tools. So you can have this tracking platform, integrate it, and have like a budget per task if you wanna do it. So let's get started. So we're gonna log in here. We can go and start tracking for free. Sign up with Google. And here in the home page, you'll see that we have the keys somewhere. Let's see, it's profile, settings. At the bottom, we have the API token. Let's save that and let's go to the code. So let's do npm init y. Let's do node install.n, and we're gonna use fetch to do the whole thing. So let's do the .n file here. Let's do API token. And the token there. Let's do the index.js file, and let's do require.n.config. If you notice me looking up, it's because my OBS has been working pretty badly, so I have to check if it's still recording or not. Okay, so we have the .n file here, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna create two constants here. We're gonna do the API base URL and the headers. So the API base URL is gonna be https api.toggl.com/API/v9. That's the latest version of Toggl as is right now. And for the headers, we're gonna send the authorization, and we have the API token, so we need to do the basic auth with the process. Actually, it's buffer from and then process, and then dot, I think it's API token, and plus API token dot to string base 64. Cool. So we have base URL, we have headers. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna need the user ID. So there's an endpoint called me. So we're gonna do async function get me. We're gonna do a try catch here. So error. And the get me basically is gonna be equals request equals to an await fetch API base URL /me headers, which is headers const response equals to an await request JSON, and then return response. And let's call this function here, and let's do const me equals to an await get me. and console log me. Okay, so let's clear this out, node index, and you'll see my user, and we have here the ID. So we know that me.id is the ID of the user. So once we have me, now let's start creating, like now we have our user ID, let's start creating first a workspace. Whenever you enter to Toggl, you have like a default organization and the default workspace. Sorry, I'm putting it over there. Yeah, but I'm gonna create a new one so you know how can we assign different projects there. Okay, so we're gonna create a function here to create the organization. So it's gonna be a C function create organization. We're gonna need an org name and a workspace name. We're gonna do again a try catch. Error, console error, and we're gonna do const request equals to an await fetch API face URL / organizations, and as we're gonna create something here, we're gonna do a method post. We're gonna send the body, which will be encoded in JSON stringify, and we're gonna send the name, which will be the org name, and we're gonna send the workspace underscore name equals to workspace name. Sorry, not equals, two dots. We have the method, we have the body, and we need the headers. So headers. Yeah, basically we need to do call response equals to request await request.json, same thing, return response. Okay, so we're gonna just call this once. So we're gonna do const new org equals to await create organization, let's do coding with audio and videos as the workspace name. Let's console log new org, and as soon as we do that, we're gonna comment this line. So clear index. Oh yeah, no, the JSON stringify should be like that. Okay, clear index. There we have it. So that's our organization logic. So let's comment this out. Let's add this. Perfect. So now we have our org ID and our workspace ID. The next thing that we will wanna do is we're gonna need to add a project to our workspace. Okay. But first we're gonna check if there are more. Like let's do like a get here to personalize that. Okay. So let's do async function get workspace projects. Okay, we're gonna send the workspace ID, and we're gonna have a try catch here. Console not error. Okay, and we're gonna do a const request await fetch API base URL / workspaces / workspace ID / projects. Okay, code response equals to an await request.json return response. So let's see if there's any project assigned to this workspace, which is new, right? So we're not gonna have one. So const projects equals to await gets workspace projects. We get a project ID, which we have it here, the workspace ID. I'm gonna use that. Okay. Actually, let's do const workspace ID equals to this and send that as well. ID console log projects. So clear this out. And we forgot to send the headers. Perfect, there's no projects. So we need to create a new project, right? So in order to create a new project, it's going to be pretty similar. So we can copy this and paste it. And we're going to do create workspace projects. It's still going to be in here, but our object is going to be first the method. It's going to be post because we're creating a workspace into the project. Okay, and the body is going to be a JSON.stringify an object, and we have a couple variables here. We're going to do an active true. It's an active project. We're going to send the auto estimates. Let's set them as true as well. Let's send the view level to true as well, so we can add different price, like we have the price there. What else do we need? And we're gonna add two things here. We're gonna add the name, the project name, and we're gonna do the color so we can identify it. So here as well, like color. Okay. So we have the post, we have the JSON, we have the response. Perfect. So let's do. Before that, let's do post new project equals to an await creating workspace project. We're going to need the workspace ID. Let's do a Toggl video, and let's do the color pink. Okay, so we could have a console log there, but we're actually going to use the console log from the get workspace projects. Okay, so we're going to just ignore what's coming there. Let's ignore the me, so we don't have that as well again. Let's clear, and let's do node index projects. Okay, well, we're going to need to debug a little bit, so let's do const new project that, and let's do console log new project. Okay. Custom project colors are only from. Okay, then we are gonna ignore the color right now. Must be a premium user to use visible. Okay, let's remove the visible. Let's just remove everything, just have the active and name. Perfect. We have the projects. So see, it's like this first one is when we created, and the second one is the get projects. So let's ignore this. Let's remove this. And then in the projects, like if we remove this, we have the project here, the Toggl video. Okay, so we have the project. We have the workspace, we have the realization. Now we need to add tasks to that project. Okay, so in order to add tasks to the project, we need to do the following thing. We could add one more step, which is the users, because we need to, like, if you actually want to create a team here, you need to create users and add the user to a specific project. But I'm gonna skip that part. I'm gonna be like the only person on this team. I think that there's some restrictions on my plan that I'm using, that the trial plan I'm using. So I'm gonna do it just for myself, ignore the user ID on the sending for the task and assigning the task to the project. So I'm gonna do it for myself. But keep in mind that you can do that, and it's probable that you will be needing that in order to, assign this to Asana and your users. So let's get to the second part, which is the creating of the tasks. So let's do async function add task to project. We're gonna add the workspace ID. We're gonna need the project ID. And we're gonna need, what else? Let me think. A name, of course, of the task. And yeah, I think that's it. We got like an estimated seconds, so we can know, like, we know how much is actually estimated for this task to be completed, because I think that that's actually one of the things that is very important. And yeah, I think that's it. So let's do try catch. Oh, sorry. Error, console, error. And let's do const request equals to an await fetch API base URL slash workspaces slash workspace ID slash projects slash project ID slash tasks. Okay. And we're gonna need here, as we're gonna create, like, add a task there, we're gonna need to do a method post. We're gonna need to add the headers, of course, and then the body is gonna be a JSON stringify of this object, which is gonna be, as we said, we are gonna send the name. We could do a name here. And we're gonna need also the estimated seconds, which again, estimated seconds. And everything else, I think it's optional. Yeah, I think everything else is optional. So let's do const response equals to an await equals JSON return response. Okay, so let's add here const new task equals to an await add task to project. Let's do workspace ID. Let's do projects 0 ID. Let's do rename the test project. The estimated second is gonna be, let's do 15 minutes. Let's do 15 minutes times 60 seconds, 6,900 seconds. Console log new task. Okay, so let's clear this out. Let's actually hide the project. So we only have the new task here. Workspace needs to have the task feature enabled. Okay, so we have to enable the workspace. We need to enable tasks on the project on the workspace. Okay, so instead of using this, the one that I created, I'm gonna change on workspace because that actually has no plans activated on the premium side, so I can use tasks. So let's change that to this one. which we should be able to run this. Yep, perfect. So it's about the payment plans that you have to activate on specific workspaces. So we now have our new task, which has estimated seconds and everything, and tracked seconds 0. Okay, so now it's the last part, so we need to add a time entry for the task. Okay, so we grab this ID here. I'm gonna say I'm gonna add a new task here as well. Let's do const task ID equals to the one that we just created, or new task.id if we actually want to run it entirely, the whole thing. And here it's gonna be the last thing, which is gonna be the adding time entry to task. So let's do a sync function add time entry to task. We're gonna need the workspace ID, the project ID, the task ID, a description of that, the duration, and we could have like a start time when it started, so we can like have more visibility there. So try catch. Error. Let's do const request equals to an await fetch API base URL slash workspaces slash workspace ID slash time entries. Give me a second, I think that's the time entries. Yeah, because you can do a time entry in the workspace without assigning that to a project or a task. So as we actually are gonna do that, then we are gonna send all this information inside the body. So this is going to be a method post because we're creating a time entry. And we're going to do a body. We're going to send a couple things here. So we're going to send the there's a thing here, interesting thing called the level. So whenever we are using when we're creating the users, you can add the time value of the user, but as we're not gonna do the viewable, but keep in mind that you could do viewable here true and have like some hours to be viewable or some hours to not be viewable. Okay, so let's remove that, but you know we can use that. So let's add the project ID. Let's add the task ID. Let's do. I think we have to send the workspace ID here as well. We add the description. Let's add the duration and the start. Okay. So. And now that we have that, we need also the headers. The const response equals to an await request.json return response. I'm gonna do here const time entry equals to an await task time entry to task We have the workspace ID, the project 0.id, the task ID, the coding rabbit. The duration of this entry is gonna be, I think it's an integer. So let's say that we work on this for what, like 60 seconds or 120 seconds, 2 minutes, and we're actually gonna be a start. So in order to do this, we're gonna need to send a UTC date. Sorry, not a UTC, an ISO date. So we're gonna do a new date dot to ISO string, and let's do console log the time entry. So let's clear this out and let's run this. This is not valid. Oh, we need to do the JSON.spegnify this thing. Let's get the task ID, type string, offset 42. Type string offset 42. It's because this has to be an integer. With a string, the same thing for the workspace ID. So we are integer on their side here. Width required for time integration. Okay, so the created width, that's a parameter that they need in order to understand how did we create this. So as this is gonna be like a constant, let's do created width. Okay, created width is gonna be API, like video API demo. And perfect. And we have a coding a bit for 120 seconds, and we know that. So let's actually see how this is actually translated on the website. So when we go here, we'll see a lot of things. So remember that I talked to you about like the workspace that we created for coding without videos. You can see that we don't have a premium plan here, but if we go to the workspace, we have no alert there. So we have this workspace, and let's go to the projects, where you'll see the projects that we have. That is this one. You can see the test project, okay, and you can see this will be the task. Yeah, this is the task for that, and you see that they already added 2 minutes, so it's perfect. So basically that's the way, there's no video amount because this task was assigned to no one, anyway. So if we would add like a new user here, as I showed you, like as I told you before, we could like create a team here, add the users, and yeah, we need to have a different type of access on this. But again, projects, add project, better project, we have that. And of course, we could also add like some here. Again, stop. And yeah, basically let's see how everything works here. So yeah, that's basically how you work with the Toggl API to create tasks, to create projects, to create a workspace new, to assign tasks to projects, to create time tracking. So if you have any comments or thoughts, let me know. I hope you enjoyed it, and see ya on the next video. Please subscribe and everything. Bye.